Okay, alright, I'm back with another video for you. So it's the end of the year now, the end of 2017. And in this video, I'm going to talk about 5 things that I learned or found out about in 2017. Alright then, so the first thing I learned about 2017 that I found out or that I learned was pretty much on how to run and operate a YouTube channel. And this is an ongoing process. It's an ongoing learning experience. I eventually learned something new about how to operate the channel or how to do something that I didn't previously know how to do. And I'm still learning, and there's still a lot of things I need to learn on that. So the beginning of this year, I actually started making YouTube videos like about 3-4 months, about 4 or 5 months prior to, towards the end of 2016. And I actually started my very first YouTube channel, which was Neck of the Woods, and then I got up to about 30 subscribers, like after 2 months of doing that. And then something happened with my account. I forgot my logon password, my Gmail account password. I just didn't have that properly set up. So I had to start another channel, Neck of the Woods Updated. And this was all in 2016. So that was like my first real learning experience. And then that just showed me that I had to really be on top of this if I'm gonna keep making videos. And so there you have it. And I pretty much, I'm trying to like make videos, at least at that time, because I'm still like in a growing and learning process in general. Originally I came to YouTube many years prior to, just to learn about female nature. And at that time it was MGTOW that was really talking about it. I didn't see too many black people on YouTube, or I just didn't come across it yet at that time. Anyhow, I'm just going along and still basically trying to find my niche throughout 2017 as far as making YouTube videos is concerned. So that's number 1. Number 2, the second thing that I learned in 2017 is I learned more nuances about how to, basically I acquired more experiences learning about the nuances of credit, meaning your personal credit, your FICO score. Now, basically I've been down this road a bunch of times. I've never declared bankruptcy in my life, but my credit has been up and down, like in the high 700 score, then down into the low 500s and 400s, and then back up to the 600s and back down to the low 500s. So basically what happened, I had gotten, like I told you guys, I've gotten into Uber and Lyft, and I had to buy me a brand new car to do that. I did that in 2015, I think, 2014. I bought a 2014 Toyota Corolla. I co-signed this car with this female who was not my girlfriend, and I think I made a video talking about, basically this was the girl who had herpes. I made a video talking about that. So that was the girl that I mistakenly co-signed with, and I got myself into a situation with that car, and I was getting behind on payments, and I basically dumped that car. I dropped the car off at the dealership, and I turned around and bought me the car I'm driving now. And I'm, you know, running with that. And I did not know I was able to do that, but I actually was able to do that. I was to my surprise. So I guess my credit was still halfway good enough to pull that off. So I learned that. Now, the third thing that I learned, now this is pretty much one of those moments you have in your life, and that is I found out that my dad had passed away on July 4th of this year. I found out that he had died. Now, I don't know when he died, but, and I am going to do a video talking about my dad, because you guys hear me talk horribly about him, and you guys are probably wondering why I talk so bad about my dad. I also talk bad about my mom. I'll do a future video on that as well. But I had went, as people within the narcissistically abused community would refer to as, I went no contact. That is not a word that I made up. That is a word, that's a terminology that they use. And going no contact is basically you cut off all contact from people in your life, people you deem unnecessary or negative, toxic, people who stabbed you in the back, people, that sort of thing. And it could be friends or family. You go, well, so-called friends, so-called family. Because you wouldn't cut off your real friends or your real family members who really, truly love you. So I had cut my dad off. And basically, going no contact is another word for saying you cut someone off in life. So I had cut my dad off from my life, I think about 3 years prior. Yeah, 3 years prior. 4 years prior. 3 years prior. I cut my dad off. I think it was like 2014 or 13. Well, anyhow, I cut him out of my life because, he just was not a real father to me. He done a lot of underhanded things and overhanded things as well. And he pretty much played a part in trying to sabotage my life. He was very negative, very toxic. I still try to be a son to him. I still try to have a relationship with him. And that was basically, it was like futile. It was no hope, no point in continuing that, because his wife, who's an evil witch, she kept on confusing the situation between me and my dad, and she did a whole lot of underhanded shit, and she basically turned my whole family on my dad's side against me off of lies and slander, and no one ever even so much as confronted me with these supposed accusations that I was accused of, within my family. Like, oh, I'll give you a few of them. I was like accused of being gay, accused of being a child molester, accused of being a thief, accused of, all of these are lies, all of them, every single last one of them. Accused of being lazy and not wanting or trying to work a job and try to have people take care of me and give me handouts. Because during the recession, 2008 to 2012, well, that was the recession, but I was basically unemployed up until I found my job where I worked in the parking industry in 2011. It wasn't because I was lazy. So that's just a long story short, but basically my dad and our relationship actually got a little bit better. He was getting really sick, But you know, his wife kept on switching him out of hospitals around LA County. She was power of attorney. I'll do a video on that. So, but long story short, my dad had died, and I found out through snooping through someone's Facebook account, which I used to have a Facebook account, and my good friend, I went through her Facebook. She allowed me to do so, and I tracked. Well, I knew the witch. That's my stepmother. The witch. That's what I call her. So the witch, she has a Facebook account. So I went on her Facebook account and I was stalking her on Facebook just to see what she posted, and sure enough, there it was. My dad, according to her, is dead or deceased and passed and gone away. That's all I needed to know. So that was the third thing I found out. 4th of July, more or less. Now having said that, this falls into the fourth thing that I learned. And I learned this right after I found out my dad passed away. One of my good friends, who I've mentioned on YouTube previously, I made a video. Well, I refer to him as Larry, and he made a video request talking about black people and inheritances, which was the first part of the series that I did. So Larry sent me a link through a text message talking about like a video talking about narcissism. And that's the fourth thing I learned. I learned about narcissism. I actually learned that this toxic, crazy behavior that and I knew my stepmother, well, she's just a witch. I knew that the witch was horrible, but I did not know what you call it other than just she's evil and crazy. That's what you would call someone like this. But the proper terminology you refer to someone like this is narcissist. She's a narcissist. And again, you know, I'm going to start doing more videos talking about narcissism because I think I've experienced it all concerning that. Both not only from her, but also from my mom, who's also deceased, and I could care less about her too. Except I don't think my mom was what you would call proper narcissistic. But she definitely was sick in her own way. And then my aunt, who's my mom's sister, she was a narcissistic. And you know, again, I'm going to try to put out videos talking about what a real narcissistic person is. It's always like, you know, society, we always look at the outwardly loud, arrogant, hateful, mean person who's just like all just stuck on themselves and all that, and that's what a narcissistic person is, and that is a narcissist. But those are what you would call the extroverted narcissists. Those are the overt narcissists. We in society, we forget about the introverted narcissists or the covert narcissists. Those are the ones that really screw us up in life. So I'm going to talk more about that in the future. And the fifth thing I learned, and this is kind of a positive thing, and I'm going to end this video on talking about this, and that is I learned that Nashville, the city that I used to hate, now I've replaced the hate with Los Angeles. Now I hate LA, but Nashville has completely transformed itself as a city. It's totally different. I can't even hate that city no more. And it transformed itself through gentrification. And I know people have a lot of opinions on gentrification, but since I used to refer to Nashville as Trashville, now I can't even call it that no more. And I think gentrification has done a good job in transforming Nashville. And yeah, and that's it. And that is all I'm going to say. That's all I got to say on this matter. And you guys have a good one.